Folks, The Empire Strikes Back marks among one of the first times that I, and many of you, remember being downright confused by a movie's ending. See, the first time I saw Empire Strikes Back was on VHS in the comfort of my own home, and it was right after I had watched A New Hope. So you can imagine my surprise as a kid watching this film and seeing the end and realizing that good is not gonna vanquish over evil. Kind of a tough lesson to learn if you ask me.
That's impossible!
However, what's weird is that it's an ending that, despite at the time confusing me to no end, I have since grown a real appreciation for. Something like Dante and Clerks.
It ends on such a down note. I mean, that's what life is, a series of down endings.
And I think that what I like about it is it's a film in the middle of a trilogy that leaves unresolved. Think about if there was no Return of the Jedi to follow Empire Strikes Back, it would have ended with the rebels losing. And for a movie that is so deeply ingrained in the pop culture zeitgeist, I could not think of a better way to tackle this episode than to simply talk about why Empire Strikes Back has the darkest and most depressing ending of the entire series. And technically why we love it anyway. So, let's get into it.
No, I am your father. No!
To begin, The Empire Strikes Back is famous for its dramatic third act twist. Darth Vader reveals he's Luke Skywalker's father and urges Luke to join him and rebel against the Empire.
Join me, and I will complete your training and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never join you!
I would say this exposition may have thrown off every viewer expecting a basic duel between Luke and Vader. But we only realize that Darth is just way too powerful for an unseasoned Luke, out-dueling and sadly obliterating him with force powers. Let's not forget this ending in the infamous duel by taking Luke's hand with a swipe of his saber, adding some real insult to injury. But why stop there? Why not throw in a crazy line from Vader that a down-and-out Luke is not expecting? Perhaps something like,
I am your father.
Further tuning out the theme of hope for Luke, this destroys his spirit. He always wanted to know who his father was, only to realize it's the galaxy's most lethal assassin.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
What's even more heartbreaking is the realization that Ben Kenobi knew Darth Vader was Luke's father all along, telling Luke that his father was murdered at the hands of Vader. I guess this was potentially an exaggerated white lie to keep Luke's hope alive.
He betrayed and murdered your father.
It's probably also in Ben Kenobi's best interest to keep Luke on the light side. Any child's goal to become just like their father in life would be a huge detriment to this situation. In truth, Vader did kill Anakin, or what was left of him. At least that's what we gathered from the Kenobi series on Disney Plus when he said,
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
It's devastating to see our hero use the Force to destroy the Death Star in A New Hope, only to be so quickly defeated by Vader in Empire. We as viewers think that Luke is impervious to everything, but George Lucas flips his hero upside down, dropping him down a few notches when it comes to facing a real adversary. In this case, his own father. Makes perfect sense, as a father challenges their son every day to beat them in daily activities, only to learn about the loss and failure in life. I dealt with it, you dealt with it, we all dealt with it. But it establishes us as sons to do better, get stronger, and have hope in passing the baton. The story creates suspense, offering hope with Yoda's advice, do or do not, there is no try. However, Luke still needs much more training, especially after losing a hand, which happens to be his dueling hand at that. I bet director Christopher Nolan took inspiration from Empire when making his arc against Batman and the Joker in The Dark Knight. A hero has trained and gotten too cocky and confident in a battle of wits against the main antagonist, only to be exposed, beaten, and lost all hope by the end of the movie.
Obi-Wan has taught you well. You have controlled your fear.
And while Empire Strikes Back is focused on a hero's journey of self-discovery, Its third act focuses on familial obstruction, or complete severance between a group of allies. This backs up Empire's three-arc structure about loss and defeat, loss of its rebel alliance being scattered after a battle of Hoth, only for the rebels to return to no avail, as our heroes were either injured or frozen and kidnapped. Loss of Han being betrayed by his friend Lando Calrissian in Cloud City, as Lando made a deal with Vader to keep his people safe in exchange for giving him Han's whereabouts.
We would be honored if you would join us.
This unfortunate backstabbing resulted in Han taking a permanent nap in carbonite with the potential of being used as one of Jabba's wall art decorations in Return of the Jedi. You can also say that the loss of love involving Princess Leia is prevalent when she confesses her attraction for Han Solo right before he becomes Mr. Snow Miser.
I love you.
I know.
And most importantly, the loss of Luke's hope after he fails to defeat his own father. All of our heroes are handed severe defeat, stuck at a standstill where hope hangs in the balance by the movie's end. When we're introduced to Yoda, our green cuddly friend who takes Luke in for training on Dagobah, you soon realize that Yoda has always kept Luke's best interests at heart towards the end of the movie. And while Obi-Wan too was a father figure of Luke in A New Hope, Yoda expressed restraint from telling Luke the truth about his father, Anakin. Yoda also guided Luke on the right path of the Force, solidifying the return of the Jedi, no pun intended. And it's Yoda who reinforced patience, morals, and hope as beacons of stability within Luke's journey, even as they're challenged throughout the film. Luke's training with Yoda was brief, and it gave him enough strength to reject Vader's offer to join the dark side, helping him make the right choice in the end.
A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense.
While Vader seems to win in Empire Strikes Back, losing his son is a significant personal loss. The Empire Strikes Back is frequently recognized as a notable sequel in film history, particularly for its influential ending. The film features a plot twist that has significant impact on the main character, in Luke Skywalker, altering expectations regarding narrative outcomes. This conclusion is an example of a story where adversity takes precedence over resolution, even if all we want is for Luke to triumph and become the Jedi we all thought he would be. That's later to be revealed in Return of the Jedi when he uses all of his powers with ease, but that's for another time on Endings Explained.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Empire Strikes Back laid the groundwork for what a trope-flipping film should be, that sometimes you need the antagonist to win and create that controversy within a franchise or trilogy, and it will only make the hero's journey much more triumphant when they learn to focus their skills and powers and gain the upper hand when the chips are down. Because after all, everybody loves a comeback story. Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.